so I guess I'm finally going to talk about Scrapper and actually continue the series. I'm not going to bullshit you. I don't have a lot of energy right now. Well, for a myriad of reasons, but I'm not getting into that. So I'm going to explain who Scrapper is, how she plays, as well as how you should be building her. It's going to be very simple, so let's get through with it. Scrapper is quite literally a trash heap. And I don't mean that offensively, I mean that literally. Apparently she was dumped on a Saxon dumping world and literally built herself back together in order to hijack a random shit and, quote, crash it into something important unless her demands were met. And Saxon looked at her and went, yeah, give that thing a job. Scrapper's main two abilities are her jetpack, which are a flat jetpack, and a grapple tower, which not only you, but any ally can use to grapple around. Pretty rudimentary stuff, but it allows Scrapper to be very heavy on team play. Now, the interesting thing with Scrapper is a lot of her kit is built around both her grapple tower and her jetpack, which makes modding her and her weapons a bit weird, but also very interesting, as despite being a support, she thrives on being in the crowd. Now, if you want weapons that are good for her mods that deal with scrap, mainly I think it's called Scrap Funnel and Scrap Frantic or something like that. Basically, more scrap that allows you to use your jetpack for longer, and using scrap to basically move faster over time. Now, how do you get scrap? Very simply, just beat the shit out of enemies and remove their parts to get a stack of scrap. Very, very simple, but very, very assistant whenever you get into the higher hazard levels. And while we're on the topic of higher hazard levels as well as how to get scrap, Scrapper is one of the two characters that I would honestly recommend utilizing the Carver on, as having a well-built Carver and being able to go in and just absolutely saw the shit out of everything allows you to get so many stacks of scrap and basically be able to buff out any other damage you can get by just tossing up a grapple tower, sawing through everything, and then grappling out. Now, as for how to mod Scrapper, Scrapper is kind of unique with her mods, as she's one of the few characters whose mods are, actually useful. Whenever I talked about how Wrangler's exotic mods excuse you, when I was talking about how Wrangler's exotic mods weren't really all that great, I did kind of mean it. Most of the exotic mods that you can get from the perk trees aren't all that great, and sadly, yes, this includes Glider. Because fuck you, Glider, you should feel bad. But Scrapper's is unique in that hers actually have a lot of use. For example, you have an extra charge of Grapple Tower, which, for Scrapper, whose whole thing is her Grapple Tower, is extremely useful. But you have my personal favorite, which is basically fire a jet stream of flame from your ass so that way you can ignite everything on the floor. When I talked about hovering above enemies and utilizing the Carver build that I mentioned a second ago, this is what I meant. You were able to get a shit ton of horde damage because if you're close enough to the floor, the fire will spread out and get more enemies, therefore doing more damage and getting you more scrap to stay in the air. But that's just my personal builds. If you have any other builds that are fantastic for Scrapper, please tell me. I'm always wanting to try out new playstyles for this game. But overall, the way that I choose to play Scrapper is as a horde-defying team player that can help their teammates get around the map faster, as well as getting rid of the hordes off of objectives like planetary railgun assignment. So yeah, that's going to be it from me. If I actually get this video out in under a day, I'll be surprised with myself. But, yeah, if you liked it, subscribe, I guess. I don't know, I'm not your fucking dad. Now get the hell out of here. Fucking weirdos. I just realized it's a local camera. I'm a moron. Hey. Hello. Hey. Notice me. Notice me. It's so fucking stupid. I didn't even put the mask on. Shit. Hey. Hey. Notice me. I notice you ain't noticed me. Hey. Hey. What are you doing? What are you doing up here? Let me in. Let me in your house. I need your food. Let me in your house. So fucking dumb.